Hello, welcome to the Afrocentric Woman, or welcome back to the Afrocentric Woman. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment. It helps other people find the channel. I appreciate you. Um, this ain't gonna be long. I'm not gonna hold y'all long. I'm gonna give you a quick little story time. So this guy that I used to talk to a while ago, he has been blowing me up all weekend. He'll periodically call me, but he's really been blowing me up this weekend, calling back to back, texting and all this. And I'm like, okay. I finally responded and I'm like, what's up? What's up? And he's just like, oh, I want to see you. I want to see you. Of course you do. Of course you do. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Of course you want to see me as well as several others. Get in line. So anyway, I'm like, well, what has changed? Um, I want to see you. I want to see you. And he know what I'm talking about, but he's trying to play stupid. And I was like, well, we've already established that, you know, we, um, we've already established that this isn't going to work. Or I don't remember what I said. I probably should have pulled it up on my text so I could see what I said. But the grand gist of it was, unless anything has changed, I am not interested. Oh, no, I know what I said. I know what I said. I said, well, the last time you and I talked, we reached an impasse. And he was like, oh, are you still on that money thing? Money is not the most important thing in the world. And I was like, well, um, I said, well, what are you offering? What are you trying to do? What has changed? I have character and loyalty. Nigga, please. Okay? I don't want to hear that crap. Loyalty my ass. Um, he's like, are you still on that money thing? Money is not the most important thing in the world. And I was like, well, you know what? We'll call him Adam. I said, well, you know what, Adam? I'm not the woman for you. I didn't tell him, pay me or else. I didn't say that. I mean, I already told you my requirements, and if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. I'm not the woman for you, Adam. Leave me. Why are you blowing my phone up? Why are you texting me back to back, calling me when I already told you? You already know the deal. And I mean, I didn't type this. I'm just thinking this. And so he's like, "Well, money isn't the most important thing." And then I just blocked him because one thing that I'm not about to do is argue with you about what I require. I mean, because the only way you can come back in my life is if you're doing what I was asking for originally, plus some. If you're not prepared and able to come to me with what I ask for and more, don't get off my line. And I could see that he couldn't control himself. He was texting me like he had some type of compulsive need to text me. So since you cannot control yourself, I will control the situation by blocking you. The line was open because I a lot of times I'll keep the door open if somebody, doesn't can't meet my requirements. I mean, maybe they'll get a raise, maybe they'll get a promotion, maybe they'll get a skill that allows them to make more money and then they can come back when they're ready. So a lot of times I don't, you know, I don't end things like I don't really deal with men, the type of men who we're falling out or anything like that. I don't really deal with those types of guys. I usually just drift off or whatever the case may be, or if they're not doing what I need them to do, then I just kind of drift off and we drift off. But it's like, The line is still open. But if you're going to abuse the line, you're abusing the line by texting me back to back to back. That's disrespecting the line. So at that point, the line has to be closed. The line is not open for you to just contact me at your beck and call whenever you feel like you want to reach out. You've lost that privilege due to your crazy behavior. So that's a wrap. Um, he doesn't have anything to offer me except for arguments. Arguing with me about how money doesn't matter in a relationship and money isn't important. And if it's not important, why are you pursuing me? I'm the last woman on earth you need to be pursuing. If you have a philosophy that money isn't important in a relationship, you need never call my line. Never. You on my line trying to convince me to change my whole worldview. Well, you could be pursuing any pick me shit in your book, anyone you want, anyone you want. But you on the line trying to convince me to do something that I don't want to do. But in all actuality, I do feel like this is a representative of a greater issue that Black women as a whole need to understand. When you express your standards and overall as a collective, many more Black women are beginning to create standards. When you communicate those and someone is not able to meet your standards, they would prefer to invest energy in convincing you to lower your standards instead of investing energy into becoming productive and gathering resources such that they could either meet your standards or some women of similar quality and have access to higher quality women. It just is what it is. And so my message to you is don't argue with males who are trying to do verbal gymnastics and convince you of things that you're going back and forth with them. No, I do. And yes, money is important and I require this and this is what I need and this is what I want. Um it's like the equivalent of, you know, I'm trying to think of a good analogy, but it's just you're arguing with someone who couldn't do it anyway. You know what I mean? You're arguing with someone who couldn't do it anyway. Like if you need a ride to the store and this person is in and that's your, that's what you need and they're telling you that you don't need that. You need to learn how to ride a bike or, um use some skates or a skateboard or something like that. Meanwhile, the person who's trying to convince you, they don't have a car nor a driver's license, nor do they even know how to drive. So you don't need to be talking to them about a ride to the store. And it's the same thing when it comes to these relationship with these guys who try to guilt trip you into having all this virtue about loyalty and character and oh, we don't need any of that. All we need is love. I mean, because we hopefully by now, I mean, if you've been on my channel for a while, then you will know that that is indeed a con. Excuse me. If you've been on my channel for a while, then you'll know that that is definitely a con. And that's the con that a lot of these dudes try to play on Black women in general as a collective. Try to guilt you into lowering your standards and invalidating your standards. Dedicated to it. If money is not important, why are you blowing me? That's what I'm thinking in my head. Why? Don't be blowing me up. If money is truly not important, go find a woman who's low maintenance, very low maintenance, and blow her phone up. Why won't you do that? Because you want the high maintenance woman without any investment, and you're not going to get it. Not over here. Any man that ever comes back to my life, any man that comes back, there's always some level of investment required. Like, what has changed? What do you have for me? Show me what you got. Why are you here? Obviously, if you're back, you must be back to give me something that I didn't get the first time. So what you got? Show me what you got. I don't want to beat around the bush. I don't want to be strung along. I don't want it to be put one day in the future, one day I'm going one day maybe. No, show it to me now. What you got? If you sorry, show me you sorry monetarily. Show me that you sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry I messed up with you. I'm so okay. Show me how sorry are you? Because words ain't gonna cut it, bro. Words ain't gonna cut it. If what you did was tow your ass in action, then what you need to do is repair thing in action, not in word, but in deed. In deed, not in word. Show me. And so, having this level of scrutiny and this level of um steadfastness to your standards, it solidifies energetically what it is that you're doing. It solidifies it in the universe because you're so assured in what you're doing that you're not even going to argue about it. It's not it don't need to be proven. It doesn't need to be validated. You don't have to justify your standards. They just are what they are. Anybody can look and see what it is that you have, who you are. And if they want to do it, then they're going to do it. And if they can't do it, won't do it, whatever the case may be, then move on. And sometimes they don't want to move on. They want to stay and argue with you. They're not like, oh, she requires, a date at a restaurant of this level. I can't afford that. I really want her to come to my house and eat Chipotle and watch Netflix. And I don't have the money to take her to this restaurant. So I'm going to convince her that she ain't shit. I'm going to convince her that she a gold digging ass bitch because she will not come to my house and eat Chipotle and watch Netflix with me. She's a bitch who does not deserve to go to a good restaurant. And I'm mad at her for denying me access to her because she won't accept what I have. So I'm going to sit up here and argue with her, and I'm going to go back and forth, and I'm going to ruin her day. I'm going to ruin her day by hurling a bunch of insults and degrading remarks towards her because I'm having a tantrum because I cannot convince her to come eat Chipotle and watch Netflix with me. And the woman who is not as wise will think that arguing with a struggle bandit is going to help her communicate her standards when she don't need to further communicate her standards. She already didn't communicate her standards. And he has in so much words say, I'm not able to do that. I don't want to do it. I ain't gonna do it. So that then and there should be the end of the conversation. Not, well, this is what I require. I have my standards, and this is what I need. And yes, I do. And money does matter. And that's team too much. Because keep in mind, if we're talking about energy, time, and attention, you're giving it to him for free. You still giving it to him for free one way or another. If you're going to argue with him about your standards, or you going to go out with him and spend time and attention, either way it go, you're giving him time and attention for free. If you speak English and he speak English, or in whatever language you communicate your standards, that y'all have a general understanding as to what the standards are, and he's telling you, I'm not going to do it, can't do it, won't do it, that's the end of the conversation right there. That's it. I mean, it's a wrap. Get your purse and go. It's highly manipulative for them to try to rope you into that arguing phase. And someone attempted to do that to me today, and guess they got blocked. Because I'm not supposed to do this with you, is what I had to send out energetically. Like, I'm not going to do this with you, bro. Not going to do this with you. We already, and I know I was there. I remember very vividly having a conversation at lunch about my requirements and my standards. I was very clear in my communication. I speak clear words. I speak straight English, very, very transparent and very detailed as to exactly what my requirements are and my standards. You look me in my eye and told me you couldn't, won't do it. It shouldn't matter. Well, you have every right to believe that it shouldn't matter. You have every right to believe that, and I'm not the woman for you. You are not the man for me. You ain't him. And then and as a woman, you just have to be the one to know when the conversation is over. Because for as long as you engage, they'll keep on doing it as long as you'll do it. If you'll go back and forth, they're gonna go back and forth. And you put yourself at a risk of a lot of degrading comments, a lot of devaluing comments. And if you are someone who is working on your self-worth and you're working on your self-esteem, and you need to protect that part of yourself by not even engaging in those kind of conversations, because the all roads lead to degradation. All roads lead to devaluing when you enter into arguing about your standards, because fundamentally he don't believe that you deserve it. Or maybe he do, maybe he don't, whatever. The end goal is he needs to try to make you believe that you don't. So regardless of whether he believes it or he don't believe it, at the end of the day, what he's trying to do, if he ain't got what you need, is he's trying to convince you that you don't need or deserve it. And so you're putting yourself in the chopping block if you start arguing with them about your standards. You're putting yourself in a position of being devalued, because he gonna tell you why you don't deserve it, right? Who you think you are? You got 3 kids. You basically open yourself up to that. You should be lucky I'm even talking to you. Who you think you are? You don't even wear your real hair. Who you think you are? You're not even that cute. Like, y'all know how this shit go. You know how they do. You know how they do. Oh, you really think that, you what you think you're a supermodel? You're not a supermodel. You look alright, but you ain't no supermodel. When you start arguing about your standards, you open yourself up to devaluation. Now, of course, what they say is all gibberish, but why even have that energy around you? Why should someone get on the line and have access to devalue you via the phone that you pay for? The audacity. Why should somebody be able to sit up in your home and to devalue you, or to sit up in your face somewhere and devalue you? Why do they have the privilege of your space? Why do they have the privilege of your ear? Why do they have the privilege of your attention? Says who? No, it's better to shut that stuff down at its inception. Once he say no, that should be the end of the conversation. Get your purse and go. Get your purse and go. That's going to help protect you and keep your heart safe. You don't have to put yourself on a chopping block because yeah, of course, you know those things are true, but you have to do all the pep talk. You got to sit up here and break everything down why it's not true. You have to put emotional energy towards mending yourself. You got to, cleanse yourself of the bad energy. It's a lot of work after you come up with a fallout with a struggle bandit to regain balance. And you can avoid all of that. You can avoid all of that by not engaging and arguing about your standards. Your standards are what they are. You determine them based off of whatever criteria you created them on, whatever it is, whatever floats your boat. Okay? Whatever floats your boat, whatever make your bell ring. It's your standards are up to you to create. It's nobody else's job or responsibility. It's your job and responsibility to create your standards and stick to them about what you require, about what you prefer, about what you how you want to be handled, how you want to be treated, what type of man you want to deal with, what type of provisions you expect and require, what type of places you're willing to go and not go, and what type of vehicles you're willing to travel in, what type of places you're willing to vacation in, what type of hotel standard, what star level you willing to stay in. All that's up to you. And you don't have to argue with nary up nobody about your standards that you create for yourself. Period. Hey Roa, your standards are yours. So that's the message that I have for you ladies tonight. I'm likely not going to come back on the line tonight. I'm getting a little tired. But yeah, just wanted to share a few things with you lovely ladies. I hope that it was helpful to you. And we'll talk real soon. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And drop down into the comments and let me know if you have had anybody try to attack your standards and any tips on how you were able to navigate that and handle that situation. I look forward to seeing your comments down in the comment section. All right, y'all have a blessed night. We'll talk soon. Bye.